Well, good morning, everybody. It's great to see you all. I tell you, when I walked in the room, I was shocked. I mean, I knew Trevor would put on a great workshop, and hats off to him and the whole team. And where's Jean? Jean's at the back pulling her hair out. You should have seen Jean's eyes. We said, this is what we're going to do. She said, what? And when I walked in and saw the room this full and heard all that energy, that was absolutely amazing. Now, I'm glad there wasn't music started because I'm not dancing. That's Trevor's job. So, how did we get here? Well, you know, this workshop and this challenge is frankly very unique across the country. There is another similar challenge going. It's of the same size, but it covers all 50 states. This one and its size is just for Michigan. And I got to give really all the credit to my boss that said, hey, we want to do this. While many of us had talked, maybe this is what we ought to do, it was Governor Snyder that said, you know what? I want to put money in next year's budget, 2019. I want to put money in 2019, and I want to do three things. I want to do hydrogen fuel cells. I want to do increased investment for infrastructure for connected automated vehicles, and I want to do a mobility challenge. He said, I want to figure out how we take today's technology to solve problems, real problems that our citizens have across the state. It started there. Then that took Sharon Edgar, Jean, others to kind of put some meat behind it. What does that look like? And then as things moved through the legislature, it got moved up. It got moved up from starting in October of this year to, you know what, we're going to pass this thing in March and go. And I remember talking to Sharon and Jean, and they said, okay, well, here's our schedule. It's all starting in October. I said, no, you don't get it. But this is going to be done now. So that 6-month time frame got compressed into about 3 weeks. And then that got us here. But frankly, the demographics are really quite amazing. As Trevor talked about, 20% of the U.S. population is comprised of individuals with disabilities. Michigan has a disproportionately large share of people aged 45 to 64. Anybody in that group? Right. Yeah, Sharon's retiring in like 30 days. Not that she's counting. She has this permanent grin on her face. Anyways, and then as the baby boomers are aging, as we approach 2040, we have a very significant portion of our population that will be baby boomers that will be 65 plus. The veterans population, 634,000 veterans representing 8.8% of Michigan's total adult population. 45% of whom are age 65 or older, and 20% of whom receive some form of related disability service. So think about those demographics. Look, we have an issue. We have an issue coming for the future. Yes, we've got some today, but we've got an issue that's really going to confront us in the next 20 years. And frankly, with all that we've been doing with technology, leading the nation in deployments of connected vehicles, autonomous vehicles, passing the most progressive laws in the country back in 2016, partnering with private sector that frankly not many other places do, and those that do, I don't think do it near as well as we do. You know, we tend to refer to partnering as, look, you bring your toys and I'll bring my toys, we'll go in the sandbox, we'll have some fun. We're going to learn a lot of stuff. We've done a lot of great pilots. And everybody keeps your own intellectual property. We go home and we learn together, as opposed to you come to me, I buy your stuff, you go do it, and then you take off and you sell it somewhere else. Partnering in Michigan is really about, let's all bring our strengths together. Let's help solve a problem. Frankly, that's what today is all about. Today is about pulling together those partners, pulling together the people that run transit agencies, the people that run services for veterans, for people with disabilities, and tech companies and big corporations that have technology So instead of this being a solution looking for a problem, you're going to hear today about problems that need solutions. And I think many of you in the room have solutions. I do think there will be a couple of problems that will come up that you go, I don't have anything that fits. But you know what's going to happen? All you entrepreneurs that are in the room, the tech side of this industry are going to go, hadn't thought about that problem. And you're going to go off and you're going to think about it. And you're going to come back and you're going to help move society forward together. So in the front of in your packet, you're going to see this preparation document. You all have probably read all of that, but it's got all of the outlines. I'm not going to go over all those details. Gene and the staff have done an amazing job of outlining that. But in short, it's really about, we want technology that's available today. What do you have that's today that can solve a problem today? So when the grants come in, we're going to be looking for those. How do you solve a problem today? The key is they got to be ready to go, meaning when we sign a contract, they're 30, 60 days, they got to be implemented. So there's not a lot of time for a lot of ramp up. So that's the primary first focus. We expect there's going to be some that need a little longer, have a longer tail, probably a little more development. Those are going to be considered as well. They're just probably going to have to be in a second phase or something. So what we're really trying to look for is that technology that you got that can solve a problem today. And let's figure out how to put it on the street today instead of make it a research project for the next 2 years. You know, our vision in Michigan is really about utilizing technology in the best possible way, using technology that's innovative, meeting the needs of all citizens regardless of where they live and their unique personal needs. You'll notice in the brochure or in the packet, we have people across the entire state. For those of you that don't get out much, this is a really big state. 83 counties, it stretches 2 time zones. And if you don't believe me, just try driving from here to Ironwood sometime. And 10 hours later, when you get there, you can call. It's a very big state. We have the vision that this mobility network is built on partnerships between public and private providers, and that what you all do has a sustainable factor to it. It can't just be, this is a nice science experiment that we did over here. Those are neat. You know what? But they don't solve real problems. So this has to be connected to solving a problem, and that's why it's so important that the providers of those services are in the room, that they can help and see and say, you know, if we change this within our process, we can address that issue using this new technology. That's why you're here. So we have a very strong foundation of public transportation here in the state. We have public transportation in all 83 counties. We want to build on that foundation, and what we're here today is to hear from you, because what this is your feedback to us. Okay, what's going to work? You'll notice we didn't do an RFP and then put out a workshop. We had the workshop first because we want to hear from you. We want to hear, how should we craft this? You know, at the end of the day, this is $8 million of state funds. This $8 million could have gone anywhere in state government. It could have gone into the rainy day fund, right? It could have gone to paving a road. It could have gone to a school. This is going to get dangerous. I'm going to pick on departments. It could have gone for more state police troopers. Could have gone to a prison. Could have gone anywhere. That's the point, is $8 million is a significant chunk of change that the governor and legislature said, we want to do this, and we need to do it right. So that's why I was when I walked in and saw all of you, that's why I was so excited, because I saw all of this excitement. I saw all these people that said they want to solve a problem. So I'm looking forward to the outcomes. I'm looking forward to what you all come out with. But more importantly, I'm looking forward to coming to whatever the first one is, that's first proposal that's implementing technology in some part of the states that's serving one of those communities. I'm looking forward to being there. And I'll bet provided the time works out, that we could get the governor there as well. So I'm looking forward to what you all have to say, and looking forward to this challenge. Have a great day. Keep that energy up. If you ever need a boost, just tell Trevor, start dancing again, buddy. Thank you, everybody.